Hey, what up guys, John from Mongo Fishing. Today, I want to introduce you guys to a new series that I want to do, and that's Rookie Year Road to the Regionals. What I plan on doing for this tournament series is doing a video like this of discussing how the tournament went, and then a video of actual tournament footage. I guess, that's subject to change, and who knows, maybe 1 week, one tournament, I'll do everything rolled into one, but for the time being I plan on it being two different videos, a video like this of me discussing the tournament, and then a video of actual tournament footage. So before we go any further, let me explain the BFLs and how you get to the regionals in the first place. The BFLs, the Bass Fishing League, falls under the FLW. Okay, and the FLW is Fishing League Worldwide, and they have multiple tiers, and the top tier is the FLW Tour, and then below that is the Costa Series, and then below that is the T&H Marine BFLs, these, and then below that's college, and below that is high school. Now, people participating in the BFLs can range anywhere from guys that are competing in the real FLW Tour, right, professional fishermen, all the way down to the weekend angler who works a 9-to-5 job and only gets a chance to go out occasionally. There's no prerequisite to fish the BFLs. You just gotta pay the money and do it. Now, in the BFLs, you have the boater and you have the co-angler. I'm fishing this whole season as a co-angler, and so boaters compete against boaters and co-anglers compete against co-anglers. So what that means is I'm paying my tournament entry fee, which is half the price of the boater. For me, it costs $125 to fish the tournament. For a boater, it's costing them $250. That's just for a one-day tournament. There are two-day tournaments also, and the prices are higher. You're competing for money, and you're competing for points. There are 24 divisions. Yeah, 24 divisions in the BFL. Each division has 4 one-day tournaments and 1 two-day tournament for a season, right? And so, like I said, you're fishing for prizes and cash, right? And you're fishing for points. Pay out money to the top 20% of anglers, and they give points to everybody who fishes at all, right? And so first place win gets you 250 points. And then second place is 249, then 248, 247, 246, etc., all the way down. The bare minimum you will get is 20 points. In order to get more than 20 points, though, you have to weigh a fish. You have to have a legal fish determined by each tournament has different requirements, whether it's size requirements or species requirements or both. For example, this tournament down in Lake Ouachita, it was 13-inch for largemouth and Kentucky spots. No smallmouth and no meanmouth were allowed. I'd never heard of a meanmouth. It's a hybrid between a smallmouth and a Kentucky, or a smallmouth and a largemouth. Look them up. It is a real thing. But anyway, for Lake Ouachita, you can only keep, for this tournament, largemouth and Kentucky spots. And that's what you could weigh, 13-inch minimum. So when I was explaining the points, 250 for the first place, the least you'll get is 20, but you have to have a fish to weigh. What I mean is, for argument's sake, we'll say that there's 60 anglers in a tournament, and so we'll say 50 of them catch fish, and 10 of them don't. So the 50 that catch fish, they weigh their fish, and of course some person has the highest weight, and they'll win, and they'll take first place. They'll get 250 points. Well, then, 249, 248, 247, all the way down. And so that last person, that number 50, the guy with the smallest weight of fish, gets 200 points. Everybody else, those other 10 anglers that didn't have a fish to weigh, they all get 20 points. So weighing a fish is huge, right? It gets you a lot of points. Those points is how they determine who makes it to the regionals at the end of the season. People that make it to the regionals are the winners of the 5 tournaments, like I said, the 4 one-days and the 1 two-day. So the winners of those tournaments and the top 45 people point-wise. Again, top 45 boaters and top 45 co-anglers, because you're not competing against each other. Boaters against boaters, co's against co's. Okay, so let me look to make sure I haven't missed anything so far. I think that's it. Now once you get to the regionals, people competing at the regionals are competing for the All-American. The All-American happens the following year. So if I make it that far, I'll get into it and explain that. But for the time being, rookie year, road to the regionals is strictly that. This is my 5-tournament season pursuing my shot, my position in the top 45 to make it to the regionals. So let's explain Saturday's tournament. So the reason I'm doing this outside today is because it's cold and it's raining. And that was the same thing I experienced on Saturday's tournament. At takeoff, at 7 o'clock in the morning, it was 41 degrees and raining. And so when you're running across the lake at 50, 60 miles an hour in 41 degree weather and it's raining, that is just a whole nother level of cold that I can't even explain. I lived in Alaska for 5 years in Anchorage, and I don't remember ever being as cold as I was the other morning flying across that lake. It was just stupid cold. So rain gear, huge thing. Make sure you got it. I had it on. It's not going to twist it. As my body itself was warm, it was the exposed parts, a little bit of my face, fingers. That stuff was just freezing. Okay, so cold morning, rainy morning. The night prior, I talked to my boater. He had said he fished the lake on Friday, and all day he caught 7 fish. The lake was fishing really, really stingy. The previous 2 weeks, it has given up 20-pound bags to quite a few anglers between 2 different tournaments, and so kind of expecting that until Huey, my boater, tells me that he fished all day and caught 7. So the lake had shut off. We had a cold front move in, so it kind of makes sense. But we get out there, we fish. First spot, I get skunked. In fact, I didn't even turn on the camera. He had said something about we weren't going to stay there very long, so I didn't turn it on. Second spot, I do turn it on. Huey, he caught one at the first spot. He caught another one at the second spot, and I still flanked at that spot also. I did have the camera on there. Third spot, I didn't bother turning the camera on. He literally said, we're only going to stop here and make a few casts. If he doesn't catch anything, we're zipping on. So I didn't bother pulling it out. Again, if I'm wasting time sitting at the camera, it's time I'm wasting fishing. And you pay money to catch fish and win money. I don't want to waste any time not fishing in that situation. So I didn't bother sitting at the camera, I just got to fishing. We didn't stick around there very long, moved on to another spot. I still have nothing for the morning. That fourth spot was a ledge. We're in 70 feet of water in between 2 islands, or casting towards this little ditch, if you will, this valley in between 2 islands. And there was fish busting schools all around us, and so I tied on an A-rig, and I caught one that was too short. He had a really big underbite, and when I measured him with mouth open and tail pinched, he met that 13-inch minimum, but when I closed the mouth, and that's how I have to measure him, his mouth closed, tail pinched. When I closed his mouth and tail pinched, he was just slightly shy of the line. I mean, it was so close that a tournament judge could call it either way. So I didn't want to run the risk of being hit with a short fish, getting that penalty, so I let him go. Which is still really stressful because now it's like 10-something in the morning and I just now got my first bite. And like I said, I want a fish, I want points. Obviously I want to win, but I want points at a bare minimum. So I let him go. Within a few casts, I bust another one. This one was a definite keeper. Threw him in the box and felt much better, relieved a lot of pressure off of me. And then realized the camera was set up, but it wasn't on. So I went over there, turned the camera on, and got fishing again. Caught one more that you guys will see in the tournament video. It's the only fish you're going to see in the whole video that I caught was this one. So that was fish number 3 for the day. And then we moved spots again, and we moved spots several times. And around noon, 12:30ish, my camera shut off. And I had 2 cameras with me, and so that camera died, and I could not for the life of me remember where I put the second camera. So basically after 12:30, I don't have any footage until I got back. And that's because right before we got back, I looked in my bag, I didn't find it, and I had no idea where I put it. I knew I had it with me though. And so the rest of the day I spent fishing and thinking, and on the run back in, it dawned on me that it was inside a pouch that I had. I had a sweatshirt on, right? I got a long sleeve shirt, I got a sweatshirt, I got bib overalls, and then I got a jacket. So I got 4 layers right here, and it was inside a pouch on my stomach. So yeah, I had it on me the whole time, and so I missed all that footage. So basically, when you watch this tournament video that I'm hoping to have up today or tomorrow, you're only going to get basically the morning and then weigh-in. The whole afternoon is lost. So to give you another idea of how tough the fishing conditions were that morning or that day, 120 boaters, 93 of the boaters caught fish. So there's 27 boaters that paid $250 for this tournament that didn't catch fish. And then on the co-angler side, we paid $125 to fish, and only 55 of us caught fish. 120 co-anglers, only 55 caught fish. So I caught 2. My 2 fish for a whopping 3 pounds was 33rd place, which isn't bad out of 120 anglers. It didn't get me paid. They only paid up to 24, but still 33 out of 120 isn't bad. I think it's pretty decent for my very first BFL tournament. So that gets me points, right? So right now I'm sitting at 218 points to start the season. And again, the top 45 move on to the regionals. And so that's the goal. And you guys are going to be able to follow along with me. So that's basically it. If you guys have any questions, you guys want to know about what baits I was throwing or anything like that, drop the comment down below. If you're brand new to this channel, hit that subscribe button right down there. Looks like me holding a fish. Could be right down here. Looks like me holding a fish. Yeah, hit that thumbs up. Drop a comment below. Again, guys, thank you very much for watching. And stay tuned for the fishing portion of this series. With that said, get out of the water, be safe, and go stick some lips.